WWE has a long history of incorporating celebrities into their shows, and sometimes even doing storylines with them. There's plenty of memorable WWE celebrity rivalries, but one of the biggest was the Battle of the Billionaires, the chairman of WWE, Vince McMahon, versus Donald Trump. It's now been 15 years since we witnessed this rivalry. Let's start at the beginning and see how it played out. On the New Year's Day edition of Raw, Rob Conway promised to defeat Jeff Hardy or quit. Hardy ended up defeating Conway in only 21 seconds, which prompted Vince McMahon to come out. McMahon shared his New Year's resolutions, which included not being taken advantage of by people such as his friend Donald Trump. He also added the phrase, "You're fired," was created by him and not Trump, although Trump became well known for using it on his TV show, The Apprentice. After telling Rob Conway he was fired, Vince McMahon headed backstage, but McMahon wasn't finished attacking Donald Trump yet. The next week, McMahon said that the fans were going to see a match that would change the course of history: Donald Trump versus Rosie O'Donnell. For those unaware, in December 2006, Donald Trump and actress and TV host Rosie O'Donnell had a feud going on, with both trash-talking each other. Since this was a hot topic at the time, McMahon decided to play off it and have Donald Trump and Rosie O'Donnell imposters wrestle on Raw. Of course, Vince McMahon was real-life friends with Donald Trump, so Rosie O'Donnell was the one who mainly got made fun of. Anyways, the Donald Trump and Rosie O'Donnell imposters had their match, if you want to call it that, with the Trump imposter getting the win. At first, this seemed like a one-time deal just to try and get WWE some attention. However, this is the beginning of a much bigger rivalry. 1 week later, Vince McMahon received a letter from the real Donald Trump that criticized the Trump vs. O'Donnell skit, as he called it. Trump went on to say that McMahon didn't know what the fans wanted, which angered Vince. The chairman of WWE eventually went out to the ring and doubled down on his efforts, and had Tori Wilson come out dressed as Miss USA. The segment was interrupted by Carlito, who agreed with Donald Trump and said Vince McMahon didn't know what the fans wanted. McMahon responded by sending out the Great Khali to fight Carlito, who easily squashed the cool man from the Caribbean. On the next episode of Raw, Vince McMahon wrote his own letter to Donald Trump that he read in front of the audience. In the letter, McMahon said that he was the sole reason for Raw's success, and because of that, the fans loved him. This led to McMahon announcing that next week will be Mr. McMahon Fan Appreciation Night, and this is where things got interesting.
I've taken care of all the arrangements. Mr. McMahon Fan Appreciation Night is ready to go.
Alongside something covered by a black cloth, McMahon welcomed everyone to Mr. McMahon Fan Appreciation Night. To show his gratitude, Vince picked a fan from the crowd and awarded them the object under the cloth. It turned out to be a giant picture of McMahon on the cover of the Muscle and Fitness magazine. Suddenly, McMahon Fan Appreciation Night was interrupted by Donald Trump, who appeared on the Titantron. Trump said McMahon clearly didn't know what his audience wanted, but Donald did. Suddenly, money started falling from the top of the arena. Vince McMahon was in disbelief, while the fans eagerly grabbed the cash. This has to be the only time someone's made a profit going to a WWE show. When Vince realized Donald Trump had given away real money, he got angry and stormed out of the arena, realizing he had been upstaged by Trump. The following week, McMahon received another letter from Donald Trump. Letters were the only way to move this storyline forward, apparently. Anyways, Trump said that he had a business proposal and that he'd be appearing on the next episode of Raw. Donald Trump stayed true to his word, and about a month and a half after the storyline began, Donald Trump appeared live on Raw. Trump and McMahon opened the show, with Donald sharing his proposal. Trump pitched a one-on-one match at WrestleMania between himself and Vince McMahon. McMahon said no, claiming that after his Hell in a Cell match several months earlier, that his doctor advised him to never compete in the ring again. However, Vince countered and suggested that both men would find a representative to fight on their behalf. Trump agreed, but said that the loser would have to have their head shaved. At first, Vince McMahon refused, but after some persuading, Vince agreed, and the Battle of the Billionaires was on. Vince McMahon wasted no time in finding his representative. On the next Raw, McMahon announced that the Samoan bulldozer Umaga would represent him. Not only that, but that same night, Vince gave Umaga an Intercontinental Championship match. Umaga proved he was worthy by demolishing the champion Jeff Hardy and winning the IC title. Later that same week, Vince McMahon and Umaga appeared on SmackDown and attacked Rey Mysterio. The message was made loud and clear, and it was time for Donald Trump to reveal his representative. 1 week after aligning with Umaga, Umaga, Vince, the Samoan Bulldozer, and Umaga's manager, Armando Estrada, got in the ring and waited to hear who Donald Trump had chosen. The Donald appeared in the Titantron and called the Samoan Bulldozer an animal. He added that the only way to tame an animal is fighting something that is superior. Trump had found just that, the ECW champion, Bobby Lashley. Lashley confronted Umaga, leading to a fight between them. The brawl was broken up by security, with neither man looking more dominant than the other. After the chaos, McMahon received a phone call from a member of WWE's board of directors. The board member suggested the match between Lashley and Umaga have a special guest referee. McMahon begrudgingly agreed. While the board of directors were deciding that, Vince McMahon tried to get one up on his WrestleMania rival. He appeared on SmackDown and offered to pay Bobby Lashley twice as much as Donald Trump was paying him. Lashley turned down the offer, prompting Vince to slap him. Since his bribe didn't work, McMahon came up with a new plan, which was to get the board of directors to vote Shane McMahon as the special guest referee. After some convincing, it sounded like Vince's plan worked. On Raw, McMahon walked out to the ring to wait and hear the news. Shane McMahon's music played, which seemed to imply the plan was a success. However, Shane actually came out to reveal that they had lost the vote, and the special guest referee was instead going to be Even though Shane McMahon wasn't the referee, Mr. McMahon was still fired up for the contract signing the next week. Both he and Donald Trump signed the contract without hesitation, while also getting some trash talk in. The war of words was interrupted when the special guest referee came out. The Texas rattlesnake intimidated both billionaires and made it clear that he wasn't going to take any sides. Like his shirt said, Austin arrived, raised hell, and left. McMahon and Trump weren't done yet and decided to face off alone in the ring. This led to Donald Trump shoving his WrestleMania rival down onto his back before exiting the ring. This was just the tip of the iceberg. In the weeks leading up to WrestleMania, things only got more and more intense. Vince McMahon would shave Eugene's head to demonstrate what he would do to Trump. McMahon would even beat up his own limo driver after blocking Steve Austin's truck on his way out of the arena. What's even crazier is Vince McMahon would challenge Bobby Lashley to a match on Raw. However, McMahon made the match no disqualification, allowing Vince to use a tiny army to wear down Bobby and eventually pin him. Finally, after months of build-up, April 1st arrived and the Battle of the Billionaires was ready to begin. All the stops were pulled for this match. Everyone got an entrance, including the barber's chair. Once the introductions were out of the way, it was time for the match to begin. Lashley started off very aggressively and was firmly in control. It was so bad that Armando Estrada had to aid Umaga during the first pin attempt. Bobby Lashley knew things would only get worse, so he decided to get rid of Estrada right away and beat him up. Unfortunately, Lashley's momentum was his downfall, as he took a hard dive to the outside. The Samoan Bulldozer would wear his opponent down on the ropes and in the corner, but wouldn't break the hold after the 5 count, forcing Stone Cold to physically stop Umaga. Finally, Umaga had enough, and thanks to a distraction from Shane McMahon, Umaga hit Steve Austin with a Samoan spike. Now with no referee, Umaga and the McMahons teamed up to destroy Bobby Lashley. Even worse, Shane McMahon revealed he was wearing a referee's shirt and intended on counting the pin for Umaga. Before he could do that, Steve Austin came to and pulled Shane out of the ring, only to get smacked again by Umaga. As Vince was berating Stone Cold, Donald Trump came from out of nowhere and tackled his billionaire rival. This chaos allowed Stone Cold to hit Umaga with a stunner, and for Bobby Lashley to land a spear and get the 1-2-3. In a last-ditch effort, Vince McMahon tried to sneak away, but good luck trying to outrun a former Marine. Lashley got Vince back in the ring, Steve Austin nailed McMahon with a stunner, and all 3 men shaved Mr. McMahon bald in front of 80,000 fans. Lashley, Austin, and Trump all celebrated in the ring, until...
Hey! Austin! Austin's done the Donald! What?
After WrestleMania, Donald Trump would not be seen in WWE for a while. However, Bobby Lashley and Vince McMahon would continue to feud. This ultimately led to McMahon infamously winning the ECW title, but that's a different story. The Battle of the Billionaires set a new record for WrestleMania viewership, with over 1.1 million people paying to watch the event. It would be exactly 5 years before that record was broken, when Rock and John Cena clashed in the ring. To see that story, watch the video on screen.